The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Aaron Glenn spoke for 38 minutes yesterday, but the only thing people want to talk about is the comment he made about Geno Smith leading the team to the promised land. The latest on the fallout from what Glenn said and some other takeaways from the owners' meetings. Omari Brown will join me. It's the Jake Asman Show on the first day of April. Let's hit it and get it started.
Wish it could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Make sure you like the video and you are subscribed to the channel. Big thank you to the Asmaniac community for helping us hit 44,865 subscribers. We are approaching 45K, and I couldn't do it without you. It is the first day in April, which means join the Patreon if you want your name added to the countdown list. And tonight at 7 Eastern, that's 7 p.m. later, Wednesday evening, join me, Brandon Tierney, and ESPN's Rich Samini, who took the red eye back from Phoenix to be on the show later. He was at the owners' meetings covering Glenn and Muji. We're going to break down everything that happened and get BT, Rich, and my thoughts all together on the second episode of the Jets Collective. So that is tonight at 7. Right now, let's say hello to our guy, Omari Brown, who joins us in his weekly spot. Omari, how we feeling? The draft is officially later this month. What's going on?
Feels good. Feels good, man. It feels like, I saw a joke the other day. Somebody said I would surrender a day 3 pick just so the draft could start last week. So I think that we're, listen, between Ben Gate, between everything that's been going on, the pro day circuit, we're definitely in the dog days of this draft cycle. And I know I speak for myself and a ton of Jets fans that we just wanted to get here. We're tired of talking about ankle flexion and shins being parallel to the floor and bend and twitch. I'm twitched out, Jake. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think that's well said. 22 days, 9 hours, 44 minutes, 50 seconds. But hey, who's counting? Jets on the clock at 2-16 in the first round, and we'll certainly get into the draft. But first time I've had you on since Aaron Glenn held his league meeting presser. And the quote that is generating the most buzz, memes, laughs is this.
I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
So it's interesting. 38 minutes, Glenn, way more relaxed with reporters. Clearly, he wasn't going to come in and be contentious following just a 3-win season, but he really kind of let his personality show a lot more than we've seen him in the past. We'll get to the Geno quote, and that, of course, is gaining the most attention. But what stood out to you? What did you make overall of anything Aaron Glenn had to say yesterday?
Yeah, I would say his overall demeanor. He seemed very calm. He seemed very calculated. Well, Jake, you and I, when we first met in person, it was another Aaron Glenn, cliff note and meme worthy statement. So this time I thought that he was calculated. I thought his demeanor was calm. He actually let his personality show through a little bit. And I think he understands. He hears the noise. Those guys try to act like they don't, but they know what's going on. And we're in a buzzsaw in this media market. So I thought he did a good job. A lot of it is going to be coach speak. And we'll get into what Darren Muji said as well, too. And that's GM speak. And we all know that this is smokescreen season. But if we're going to be critical about how he was last year, I thought he was kind of the way we all wished he would have came in, quietly confident. You're going to under-promise and over-deliver. He did give us a quote, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But listen, man, we're just going to be objective about this. I don't think that it was anything crazy. I actually appreciated the time that he gave to the beat.
Yeah, I mean, look, there were some things he said that I think clear coach speak. There were some things he said that you could actually maybe gain some valuable insight into the Jets thinking. The Geno Smith, though, quote, right? I just feel like he's the guy who's going to lead us to the promised land. I just wish he didn't say it because, while at the end of the day, doesn't matter what he says on the last day in March, big picture. No, but it just follows a similar pattern of Aaron Glenn saying unnecessary things that will come back and bite the Jets in the you-know-what. Like, you hear Aaron Glenn say that, and people just laugh. Like, Geno might be like, oh, I appreciate Coach having my back, but I don't even know if deep down Geno Smith wants to hear Aaron Glenn say, I'm going to lead the Jets to the promised land, because I just feel like it puts unnecessary pressure on Glenn, on Geno in particular in this case. Like, Glenn had the superhero comments that you and I were there for at the Combine in the month of February, and then here we are in the month of March, and he's just generating another headline with comments that just feel unnecessary. Like, he just always goes a little too far. Like, if he had just simply said, Geno Smith, we believe, is going to be a really good quarterback for us. We look at what happened last year and think that is not we think that's an outlier on who he is, or we're really excited of what type of offense we could be with Geno. We think we got a guy who could give us some competent quarterback play going forward. Like, there's just so many other ways he could have said it than to just take it a step too far, saying, oh, he's going to lead us to the promised land. I mean, then you just naturally set up the Jets to be memed to death. It's the headline on ESPN.com. It's the headline and a talking point on all the shows. It's just be boring, man. Like, you don't need to say anything. This is the guy who said that he wanted the Jets to move in silence. He said that a year ago at the same press conference at the owners' meetings, and everything since that point, they have done the opposite of moving in silence, and that's my big issue with it. I just feel like this was an unnecessary misstep that is going to be used against the Jets the second Geno Smith has a bad game or the Jets are in this rut and they start losing football games.
I mean, actually, you could just see it now. The promised land, getting sacked in the Daily Post and the New York Post is, posting it with his face. I mean, it's so I kind of find myself stuck in between, because on the one hand, I want him to be authentically himself. And if he wants to say that, and if he wants to use coach speak and be that high energy guy that has, unwavering belief in his players, I want him to be that. But then on the other side, like how I would operate, I can't force somebody else to operate. So if he is genuinely being himself, Jake, and he's confident in his players and he wants to instill that faith in his players, then by all means do that. And if we're going to talk, Jake, listen, Geno Smith delivered the Raiders to the first overall pick. He didn't exactly specify what the promised land is. It could be 1-1 of 27. So he didn't specifically say what that promised land is. Right. So if you want to get into that, we could get into that.
I just wish someone on the beat, and I'll ask Rich about this, how come no one followed up and said, well, what's the promised land? Is the promised land winning more than 7 games for the first time in over a decade since Geno Smith was last on the Jets in 2015, if you think about it through that perspective? I mean, what is the promised land? Winning season, making the playoffs? It's certainly not the Super Bowl, because Aaron Glenn can't be delusional enough to think that 36-year-old Geno Smith, coming off a season where he quarterbacked the worst team in the NFL, is going to be leading the Jets to the promised land. Like, there's just no way this coach is that delusional. Is he, Omari? What is the promised land?
Listen, blind faith. All right. He's blind faith right now. So I'm going to say the promised land is going to be competent football, because I think that's what, our ceiling is for what their ceiling is for this season. I think that it's I think and this is pre-draft, I think their ceiling is probably going to be maybe, a 4-win increase. So I'm not really sure what the promised land is. And that's a great question to ask Rich, because that's what I would have followed up. I would have said, hey, coach, what is your idea of the promised land for this year? What I really took away from that, Jake? It seems like we're going into year 1, which is unfortunate because we had to endure such a historically bad season of 3-14. The way Glenn is talking, he talked about having some of the adults and how the team sorely lacked that. He talked about some of the players that are coming in. I think that there's so many questions going into year 2 that it's a little disheartening, because we should be building off of the building blocks and the foundations of year 1. And it seems like this is, last year was 0, and now we're going into year 1 to where we're just now getting Glenn's players in. We're just now getting his type of guys in the building, and now we're just now going to be able to run his system. So I just think that it's a little unfortunate, but the way that he spoke, and I believe it was Costello, I don't want to misspeak, but they asked about, do you feel any added pressure? I think that he already feels pressure. And I think that in this league, they're all in privileged positions, and pressure is a privilege. It's a privilege to go out there and coach the New York Jets and to coach all these great football players. It's a privilege to have that pressure of an entire fan base and to break a 15-year drought. So I think that they're already feeling the pressure. I think that's just in him. So if that's just in him, I want him to be the same way when they're losing and the same way when hopefully they start winning. So I just think that there's I'm just kind of in between right now. And I think where most fans are, we just really need to see it on the field. All of this is good. We're tired of the of the bulletin board material. We're tired of the memes. We just want to see some good football now.
100%. It just feels like an unnecessary misstep. And again, at the end of the day, if this was just a one-off, it wouldn't matter. But like, you just don't see good coaches say things like this. Like John Harbaugh didn't come out and say, I believe Jackson Dart's the guy that could get us to the promised land. But if he did say that, we wouldn't laugh at that. It'd be believable. It'd be like, yeah, of course. When you say that about Geno Smith, like, I don't know, just you just add more fuel to the Jets are the laughing stock fire. And if you win, nobody cares. But he was brash and had this cocky attitude all in year one and got his teeth kicked in and was so dead wrong about Justin Fields. We still bring up the quotes that he said about how he's never been coached properly. We're going to let him play quarterback. And Justin Fields wasn't just bad. He was historically bad. And no matter how anyone feels about Fields, he had never played as poor as he did with the Jets since his rookie year with the Bears. So that was a real coaching problem. And this was a coach who had a lot to do with Fields being his handpicked quarterback in the first place. I just think this was a silly misstep. And it's a shame because I would have hoped that Aaron Glenn, after the play calling is my superpower moment and falling asleep at the combine and just once again being in the headlines for all the wrong reasons in this offseason, would have learned from that, because there was some good things yesterday, but the issue is this is all anyone is talking about. This is the big story, and it's a shame because it's just yet another moment where, like, LOL Jets, and if you're a Jet fan, you just got to hear it from all your non-Jet fan friends who make fun of you or send you memes about this, quote from the head coach who should know better at this point.
And you know what, Jake, I'll piggyback on that. I think that it is unfortunate because just like you alluded to, like they've done some really good things over this offseason. I thought the leaks have pretty much, you did touch on something. You said you want them to move in silence. I think they've done a good job of mitigating all the leaks. There really aren't any more leaks coming out of One Jets Drive. So, and they've done a lot of good things. And I truly do like the way that they operate, especially the way AG and especially the way Muji answers questions. I just, they've done so many good things. And I think that every time we try to take a step away from the LOL Jets, there's something like this that kind of pulls us right back. So I'm just looking for the time where we can keep taking positive steps and getting away from the circus act a little bit. And I think that he still has a lot to learn, and I think that he's basically the face of $1 billion entity. We all know that Woody Johnson is the owner, but as the head coach, you are the face of $1 billion enterprise. So I just think that he just has to be a little bit more calculated. But then again, he's a football guy and he gets excited. So sometimes I kind of get stuck in between, but I am always of the ilk of under promise, over deliver. And I hope that, Aaron Glenn can still be himself, but that just a little bit.
And that's what I think you hope. Eventually he gets to a place where he could do that. But this to me is just who he is. And the other thing that really stood out, and before we get to some of the newsworthy things, there was a question by a reporter who covers the Lions that wanted Glenn's perspective on how, if you're a contending team and you basically get the brain drain over the course of the offseason where other teams raid your coaching staff, guys go away and become head coaches, just how challenging is that? And it was ironic because Glenn said, well, in a way, it's a good problem to have because it means you're a pretty good team if you're losing all your coaches. And the irony is Aaron Glenn fired a historic amount of his coaches after a year, not because the Jets were so good they were getting poached away by other teams. No, he fired them because they were horrible and they won 3 games. So I just thought that was a really ironic moment that I don't know how many people caught in this press conference, being asked about the Lions having the brain drain of losing all their assistant coaches because of the success they've had. And meanwhile, the Jets have had this brain drain by choice because the guys they hired didn't have brains in the first place.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. They basically had I don't even know if you could call it the brain drain for the total opposite reason. So the Jets are not victims of their own success right now. They're victims of their own mediocrity. So that's why they've had to really usher in this new thing. But what I did like is that he talks about having more synergy with the coaches in place now. And then one cool thing that I've always brought up as well too is like I want the Jets to not only have a funnel of talent, but maybe let's do a better job of developing coaches a little bit. So now that you have Frank Reich, I believe he mentioned Seth Ryan specifically, which I thought was pretty cool. Seth Ryan is going to be an up and coming guy. So now you have the elder statement, which is going to be Glenn and Frank Reich, but then you have the young understudies. So you kind of have a marriage of two, with Brian Duke on the defensive side and Seth Ryan on the offensive side. So I'm actually looking forward to. I think that that's a relationship that we're going to have to pay attention to as a storyline throughout the season. How is Frank Reich going to modernize his offense a little bit? And what role specifically is Seth Ryan going to play on offense? Because the cool thing I did see is that Glenn is, now that he's going to be more involved on game day, he's going to need more help, and he's going to have to delegate a little bit more. So he's installing the defense right now, but when it's time to go in there and work with the offense, Brian Duker is going to take over, and he's familiar with that offense as well too. So I'm actually excited, Jake, to see what is going to happen in terms of development from a player standpoint and development from a coaching standpoint. And again, all these things we're talking about, I feel like that should have been done year one, but I do like the direction that they're going in. And just because I like the direction that they're going in doesn't mean that I've fully bought back into him and this coaching staff as the right people to take us to the aforementioned promised land.
Well, I think he's definitely hired a better staff in general than what he had last year, but it's just concerning with how bad your staff was in year one, that even if you upgraded with your staff in year two, you were not being able to access the full talent pool like you were in year one, when coaches were willing to come join you because you got a 5-year deal. Year one, you never expect you're going to win only 3 games in that first year. There was some existing talent on the team, and his picks were so bad in that department that he fired most of them. And while I do think they've upgraded in basically all the key areas like offensive coordinator, I think Glenn is a better DC play caller than Steve Wilkes, right? We got Banjo for another year, all that. It's like, were you really picking from like the most elite talent pool? Because you're still going to be limited with the guys who are going to be able to join your staff, knowing that the head coach is on the hot seat after he won only 1 game in his first year. So I think they're in a better spot than where they were a year ago. But I to your point, I don't know if that better spot is going to translate to winning that many more games than what we saw in year one. Like maybe they go from 3 to 6, but I don't think 6 wins is saving Aaron Glenn's job.
No, and I don't even want to get into like a number. Like I won't even back you and ask you like, where where do you see their win total being? Because again, we still have the next wave of free agency. We already know that there's going to be some veterans that get cut that don't really want to take pay cuts. And then obviously you're going to have hopefully an influx of tremendous talent through the draft. So, asking us, and I know a lot of fans ask you, Jake, and give you intelligent answer at this point right now, because we don't know what the team is going to look like. But
Omar, we're losing your internet connection, which happened last week. Do me a favor and just reset your StreamYard and we'll work through it and we'll get you on. While everyone is tuned in, reminder to hit the like button. I'm curious what the chat thought of AG's press conference. Some other takeaways that I found to be notable as we wait for Omari to rejoin us here. I thought the fact that Glenn highlighted Breece Hall and said Breece knows what I think about him, and referenced the fact that Muji said they'll pick things up after the draft. I think that's encouraging that they are going to get a deal done with Breece Hall. In fact, I would expect it to happen. I think they're going to work out some sort of extension. Now, maybe it's not immediately after the draft. They have till July 15th, and there's negotiating on both sides to try and get the best deal. But I do think the Jets are going to get something done with Breece. As Omari noted, I did like the Seth Ryan shout out. Now, the cynical Jet fan in me was thinking, man, if Glenn doesn't win early, Frank Reich is already on the staff. He becomes the interim, and then Seth Ryan gets promoted to be the offensive coordinator, and you give him a chance to show what he could do before, you have a new coaching staff that comes in. Or maybe Seth Ryan's just awesome, and him and Frank Reich look, they kind of could coach well together, kind of having that older dynamic in Reich and then the youth movement and Seth Ryan with some innovative ideas, and it all goes well. Glenn talking about A.D. Mitchell, I think is just towing the company line that Muji set forth the day prior, saying, hey, we like the wide receiver room. They both mentioned, hey, we're going to have Garrett Wilson back. But to me, a big thing for the Jets has to be adding a receiver in this draft. Or maybe it's a veteran trade. We could talk about Brian Thomas Jr., whoever might be the veteran receiver we're not thinking of. Denver's got some guys in a crowded room that could be available. But I think it's clear that while they'll say publicly they like their wide receiver room, I think Muji's too smart to not have learned from what happened last year. They will add a big-time receiver. And I hope it's either via trade or the pick 16. Kyle Lemon is there. I'm taking him. I wouldn't even be that mad if they traded up and said, Carnell Tate's our guy. We're going to go after him. So that to me, I thought was also notable as well. Comments, questions, super chats, we'll cut the line. We're going to bring Omari back in a moment, but let's set the stage right now for Asmaniac Madness, the greatest tournament in all of sports, baby. Today on the show, we have the 4 versus 5 battle in the round of 32 of the Dangerous Alliance region. It is Adam is Too Cool and Papa Jet 7-3. Two great listeners of the show. Here's your look at the up-to-date Asmaniac Madness bracket. We're making our way through the left side. Congratulations to Leany on defeating Thunderlips yesterday during the second stream to advance. So who will play Leany in the round of 32? We're going to find out today. Taking a look at each region. The Clifton region, inside outside, is set for the Sweet 16. We have the Dangerous Alliance region, which we're working our way through right now this afternoon. You'll get AJF, that's Australian Jet Fan and Mad Max. And then we're going to get to Lumpy and the big fella. And then looking ahead, Gary and Amanda Madison lead off the extraordinary region. And then eventually we'll wrap up the round of 32 with the grown-ass man region. But today, it is Adam is Too Cool and Papa Jet. And before we open up voting, here's a presentation courtesy of Adam is Too Cool. Before we open up voting, one last video submission from our guy Adam is Too Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, get to your screens.
I will do whatever it takes to win.
Hit it, tear up this grip. Commit this grab the guillotine blade, final step. Johnny got 9 lives like
fucking lounge cat.
Bracket bustin' Jason Stone, bitchin' like a pussy cat. Blue shredded mid-air, Tony Smith flying. And I'm born too damn cool, slicing through the dying smoke, choking illusion rib, kicking down Papa's front door. Like they know that no restriction, like we ready for the response. Adam too cool, but he ain't that basic. You don't see it coming, and you're gonna need LASIK. That nice guy Adam, oops, he misplaced it. If he coming at him, then we gonna face it.
Adam is too cool, yoga master, Jets fan for life, and surprise rhyme blaster. So don't go be sleeping like V-Man, or you'll find yourself in the dumpster like Chiefs fan. 29 Asmaniacs remain, gotta show out, or you're feeling the pain. Exhibit A, Beast, a dummy and a meanie, went mad emo and choke chop Tellini. Papa Jet, another guy with a beard, you gotta draw some blood if you wanna be feared. He's too cool for a shave, he probably got some knots in, but he be looking just like a green bean Laden.
Oh my.
Hey Arthur, this rhyme's for you. Too cool's no fool to take you to school. Deep breaths, relax, just keep on fingering. You're the Asmaniac know-it-all ding-a-ling. You're a broken clock, digital at best. Your ego's a bore, fool. Give it a rest. I'm Rob the Jets fan, where's my intro? Did he really deserve one acting like a bitch though? He making rain bars like Mike these nuts. Dropping 4% or panties with his deep cuts. Lyrics cooking the chef Kevin wagging Chuck. Too cool tells his haters, I don't give up. Time to vote, Too Cool advances. He's going the distance in Asmaniac Madness. He said he'd open up, now open wide. The result should be a mug landslide. Adam is not basic, he based. He's the toughest dude y'all ever gonna face. F your brackets and go pick the best duelist, because you won't see any other Asmaniac do this. I'm done.
Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to vote. Voting for Asmaniac Madness is underway. Oh my goodness, Adam with a rap. Hit it.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? Asmaniac Madness. You get to pick the ones that make the show rock.
We will see if that gets Adam some votes against Papa Jet. Adam did get 5 memberships on our show today. Let's go, Adam. Hit the Jet chant for him. Appreciate Adam is too cool. Paying it forward and supporting the show. All right, one final announcement before we bring Omari back on and talk all things New York Jets and continue with our conversation on the state of the team. We got a great giveaway today, one of the best we've ever done. This is a legendary Jet. End of this show, your chance to win a signed Zach Wilson helmet. It also includes a Zach Wilson signed jersey, 2 for the price of 1. And I will give you a Zach Wilson signed football and a Zach Wilson signed cleat. You will not find this prize anywhere else. That's because it doesn't exist. April Fools. Today's giveaway across our shows is a signed Don Maynard helmet, an actual all-time great Jet, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Don Maynard. That's the giveaway. Make sure you enter the raffle by gifting a membership or sending in a $10 or higher super chat. Weekly raffle on Saturday, Revis signed football, Garrett Wilson signed football, Joe Klecko autographed jersey. With that, we shout out Papa Jet 73, matching Adam with 5 gifted memberships. Let's go. Hit the Jet chant.
It's J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
Shout out to Papa. Good luck to him and Adam. Make sure you guys vote. Let's say hello to Omari Brown, whose internet is going to be fired up and ready to roll. Right, Omari?
Absolutely. I hope so, man.
Right.
I feel like Unc right now. I can't get my technology right, so I'm really showing my age. But we're going to figure it out, chat.
We will make it happen. We will make it happen.
Absolutely.
So sticking with the Glenn conversation, you mentioned Seth Ryan. I hit on that while you were gone. I thought another thing that was notable was the Mason Taylor conversation. He was asked for a player who he thought could take a big leap from year 1 to year 2. He cited Mason Taylor. Does that go into your thinking at all in the Sadiq conversation at 16? I know they could be used differently or they could be used at the same time, but just your thoughts, one, on what he said about Taylor and how that maybe impacts the draft decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, and we've talked about this, we're team offensive weapons and we're not going to discriminate. And I think that Kenyon Sadiq and Mason Taylor offer, different things. I think you could move Sadiq a little bit more than you can. Mason's more of that inline tight end. Sadiq could be that movable piece. You could put him at H-back to create a mismatch out in the backfield. You could line him up and he could be your big slot to kind of create some mismatches as well, too. So I think that they both could be useful for Frank Reich in 12 personnel. So that's 1 running back, 2 tight ends. So that didn't shock me at all. And I know that they're high on Mason Taylor as well, too. They want high character guys. Mason Taylor's still a young guy. The worst thing about Mason Taylor is, Jake, that we still exactly don't know what he is. Can he be more of a stretch the seam, more of a put pressure on the defense type of guy, or is he going to be more of that Jason Witten, safety blanket underneath and not really give you much run after the catch, but just be that safety blanket, which is important as well too. And that's what I'm talking about when I say that we still have year 1 questions going into year 2. And a lot of these guys that we weren't able to fully get grades on, like an A.D. Mitchell, like a Mason Taylor, hell, even Breece Hall. I think that there's still some. I think this is year 5, and we're going into Breece Hall. We still have a ton of questions. We're still waiting for that 80 reception year with Breece Hall, and hopefully this is the year that we still get that. But again, Mason Taylor, I know that he's one of Glenn's guys. Again, NFL pedigree on both sides. Hall of Fame uncle, Hall of Fame father. He's a young player. He went to he's SEC battle tested, and he's a high floor, high character guy. So I think that they're going to be high on Mason Taylor. And I know that this is smokescreen season. They got to stop talking up the wide receiver room. It's Garrett, and then there's a bunch of question marks. And I know that they're not trying to give their hands away, but Jake, I don't have any here, and it's because the Jets have helped that as well too. That's the reason I don't have any here. So I'm pulling out my beard. We all know that wide receiver 2 is is a big weakness on this team, and even the biggest A.D. Mitchell fan out there would tell you, and even A.D. Mitchell himself too, when he was on the Downs podcast, he would say that he has a lot to prove as well too. So they are absolutely going to be in the market. And your co-host Rich Samini said that there's a couple targets that they're looking forward to, or they've kicked the tires with. So I think, listen, they're saying one thing, but the way that they're moving is showing another. Wide receiver is absolutely at the top of their list in terms of needs going forward, especially at the end of this as we closer to the draft.
They both said they liked the room. Great. That's what you're supposed to say. Last year, they said they liked the room and didn't do anything about it. You know, taking Arian Smith, who should have been a UDFA in the 4th round, was a gross miscalculation. Let's see what they do this go around. I think they should have every intention of finding a playmaker at 16 the way the roster currently looks. Now, you could wait till 33 or 44, but there's no guarantee that the player you want will be there. I think there's a strong possibility that one of the, quote, big 3 receivers makes it to 16. And I don't know how you feel about Omar Cooper Jr., but the more I watch him, the more I'm comfortable taking him at 16. I get it. He wasn't supposed to originally be a first-round pick, but I think guys get overdrafted at that position because of the fact, look at the going rates in free agency for just decent wide receivers. So that's become a premium position when you have guys making over $42 million now that play it. I think if you're the Jets, you have to think about that long term. Hey, if we just got a guy who's solid at that spot, even if he's not a number 1 at 16, but he's just a good number 2 for 5 years on a rookie deal, the value you get out of that position is greater than you'd get at a lot of other positions if you took a different player.
Yeah, absolutely. And that guy like an Omar Cooper Jr. Now again, you know, I talk to guys that I really respect. I talked to Dom C. He only has about 14 or 15 first round grades. So after you get to about, 13, 14, Jake, after that, it's just about, can we identify guys that we really like? Can they come in day 1 and be contributors? So again, I love Omar Cooper at 33. At 16, I can kind of talk myself into that because all I'm looking for out of this draft is to get day 1 contributors, like I've been saying. I know the chat is going to say he keeps repeating himself, but I want you guys to really understand that we need day 1 contributors. And then, so if we can get Omar Cooper in there, that takes away attention from Garrett Wilson, and that allows Garrett Wilson to be a little better. And I think a lot of this year is going to be about getting Garrett Wilson some opportunities. And I've said this on Twitter plenty of times. I think anything less than 160 targets for Garrett Wilson this year is an abomination. I think that this is the year where the rest of the league is going to be privy to how we feel about Garrett Wilson, and that we think that he's a top 12 receiver in this league. So I think Omar Cooper Jr. compliments him well. I think Casey Concepcion compliments him a little well. And I know a lot of Jets fans, we have a lot of older fans in our fan base. So I know that they want that big, physical, prototypical X like the Brandon Marshall. But that's not the only way that you can compliment him. I think that if you can get the ball out quickly and allow for some run after catch, and you know what Omar Cooper can do, Jake? He forced 39%. He had a forced missed tackle rate of 39% last year. That is phenomenal for people that don't know. So I think that you can get him the ball quickly and have him create in space. And I think that everything together is going to work. So I think that, Omar Cooper Jr. at 16, Kenyon Sadiq, I think, Casey Concepcion, I think that all of these guys would be great Garrett Wilson compliments.
Yeah, he's just a really well-rounded player. I see why he's moving up boards. 26 forced missed tackles on receptions in 2025, 6th most in the FBS, 505 yards after catch, which was the most in the Big Ten. That's been missing from the Jets offense. Like, as good as Garrett is, they need someone else that also could be a big-time yak guy, a possession receiver, kind of take the attention away from Garrett. Because, again, if you've already paid Garrett, which they rightfully have, and that contract, if Garrett stays healthy, will look really good in a couple of years. It already is starting to. You need to maximize the investment you made in him by allowing him to not always be double teamed every play. And if he is double teamed, actually having someone who can make defenses pay for that. And I think Cooper's a guy, the more I watch him, the more I'm comfortable with taking him at 16. I'm fascinated by what happens with Jordan Tyson, because just on ability alone, he shouldn't be there at 16, but the medical stuff makes it complicated where he might.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm in the process, and I'm be candid. So this is the first draft cycle that I'm actually publicly sharing my thoughts and my evaluations, and I'm in the process of building a model, a predictive success model as well too, to go along with the film that I watch. And if we were able to turn sliders off, Jake, let's play Madden for a little bit. We take the injury slider off. Jordan Tyson carries the only probability of becoming an offensive centerpiece in this draft. So I ran through the model, everything. Who has the highest percentage of becoming elite in this draft at the wide receiver position without injuries? If everything, goes to the right scheme, goes to the right place, everything goes perfectly. Jordan Tyson is the only receiver out of this draft class that could be a centerpiece. And your centerpiece is, I'm not saying that Jordan Tyson, these gentlemen, centerpieces are during his prime. So that type of talent that Jordan Tyson have. And I think, some people think that 16 is a risk to take him with his hamstrings. Jake, if he's there at 16, if you're at that, I would tell you to leave your draft party.
Hey, Omari, we're having some tech issues again. Let me bring on my tech guy. Maybe he can help you.
Whoa! Hey, buddy, time. Stop. Restart your StreamYard. You got a bad connection. I can hear you crackles. Restart. Turn everything off. Restart it. Give it 10 seconds, and then reprogram yourself back in. Restart.
Oh, yeah. That feels better. Oh, baby.
All right, as they all say, Superman to the rescue.
I hope Omari's internet restart will hopefully help us here. I saw Doc Jeffhead make a comment. We're going to start a GoFundMe for Omari's internet. In the meantime, let's talk about ZipRecruiter, and then we'll get back to Omari, and we will do your calls as well for anyone who wants to weigh in on the conversation this morning on the show. It's draft season. That means every Jet fan is watching film, and by watching film, I mean 12 minutes of YouTube highlights, and suddenly you're pounding the table like this is the guy the Jets need to take. We've all been there, and we're still there right now. But here's the truth. Building a great team isn't about hype. It's about finding the right fit. If you're running a business, it's no different. You don't want to reach. You don't want to bust. You want someone who actually fits your team. That's why you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter does the scouting for you. Their smart matching technology finds top candidates that check all your boxes, and you can even add screening questions. So you're the only one that is talking to true difference makers. It's basically like hitting on all your draft picks, which as Jet fans we know is easier said than done. Score the best for your team with ZipRecruiter. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. You could try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Let's bring Omari back in. Omari, the internet does not want you on this show. It's sad what's happening here.
It doesn't want us to be great, Jake. And I tell you what, Verizon's going to have to get out here too. So I think I don't know what's going on in my neighborhood, but not sure where I got cut off, man. I'm not sure where I got cut off, but again, I think we were talking about weapons, right? And running the card up. Yeah. And how I would want you to leave the party and run that card up. Cause that's just, that's how good I think Jordan Tyson will be. I would actually want them to be a little bit aggressive if he starts to slide as well too, because don't let him go to 12 to the Rams. The Rams have enough receivers and enough firepower. So if you can move up, if you could package 16 and 44 and get up to 11 or 103, whatever you have to do, I think you should do that, because at 33, and you talked about this, early on. You said 33 is the most traded pick in the draft. I think it's been traded 4 out of the last 5 drafts, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me. And I think that they're going to possibly drop down unless that there's a prospect that they truly want there. So I'm all on board. If you tell me that we could leave with, Arbor Roos, who I even have more conviction after today's earlier space in the commute, that he's going to be the pick, or David Bailey or Ruben Bain, and then you can go and get a difference maker, a potential offensive centerpiece. I think that that's a home run draft, and especially after we talked about how they went safe in their process the first draft. I would just think that it would be an absolute Muji masterclass. And it's funny because all the memes that we get about Glenn that are negative, we get all the positive Muji memes. I love the Muji memes.
And we got this one the other day. Muji looking right at us, being like, "I got this, fam. I got this." Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Adam is too cool in a fierce battle right now. Is he trying to buy more votes? He has gifted 5-channel membership.
I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
Is Adam going to lead us to the promised land against Papa Jet? Right now, it's a battle. It's 53-47. This is a tight one in Asmaniac Madness between two great callers.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Vote, vote, vote. The winner takes on Leany in the Sweet 16. This afternoon, Mad Max, the 3-seed Australian Jet fan, the 11 seed. That is your matchup tomorrow morning. Big fella, the 2 seed. Lumpy, the 7 seed, tomorrow afternoon. The highly anticipated 1 seed Gary 3D Boxing versus the number 9 seed Amanda Madison. That's a look at your upcoming Asmaniac Madness schedule. Here's who got a channel membership from Adam, Eric Kelly, Cactus Johnny, Wendell Oliver, A Baby 1035, and Bill Clinton. Nice to have Bill Clinton watching the show. Bill Clinton 69 in the chat, just receiving a channel membership. This one is from Hollywood Rio. He's in the raffle for 2. We won't get a Super Bowl ring next season. However, fear not, Jet fans. We will get a promise ring. Shake my head. Why, Lord? ? It's tough because this quote, the superhero quote, it's just like all these memeable things that are going to be used against the Jets. And it's unfortunate because if they won, it'd be fun to like spin it positive. But like just like Robert Saleh said, he was taking receipts. Look how that was used against him. All gas, no break. Look how that was thrown in his face. Like all these things these coaches try to do, it never works. And it ends up just being like more fodder for people to do the LOL Jets thing.
Well, listen, it's not what we want, but guess what? I think we could capitalize and make some merch off of it, right? So I think superpower shirts are going to be all rage at the tailgates. Jake, get on that. You know?
Play call is my superpower, really.
So it's giving you ideas for merch. I see the chat is frying me, guys. I'm trying. I don't know what's going on. Internet connection today, but yeah. Promise ring is not what we signed up for.
No, we would like something way more than that. Some other things I wrote down that I wanted to get your take on, Omari. Aaron Glenn was talking about how, look, we just want to take the best player. And now a lot of teams and coaches, they all say that, but Glenn comes from an organization where in Detroit, you know, they took Jahmyr Gibbs higher than anyone thought he'd go. They took Jack Campbell, an inside linebacker, higher than anyone thought he would go. What does that mean from a Jet perspective here? Does it change your thought process on any of these premium picks they have in the first 2 rounds?
To me, I think it changes it at 16. You know, we've all had the discussion. Do you really put more premium assets into the O-line? So I think that at 16, that's more of like a Vega Ioane question versus a weapon. At 2, maybe, you know, do they love Sonny Styles that much that they would take him over the versatile and the hybrid of Arvell Reese? You know, maybe not, but maybe on their board, Sonny Styles is just, you know, the safest player in this draft. Maybe that's a Caleb Downs because Glenn is a DB, but I just can't see that. I just see it as, to me, it's a two horse race. It's either between Arvell Reese or it's between David Bailey. And I'm leaning more towards Arvell Reese because he wants to be multiple. He wants to be able to give different looks and have the offense consider multiple things while the same personnel is on there. So if you look at what he's going to be able to do with Joseph Osai, I would implore a lot of fans, you know, not to get too deep into the weeds. If you have, you know, NFL League Pass, Field Pass, definitely look at those defenses and what Glenn was able to do and how he was able to create some exotic fronts and simulate some of those pressures. So, you know, so basically they're going to be multiple. Their base will be 3-4 as 3 down linemen and the 2 stand-up outside linebackers. But then you're also going to have some 5-man looks as well to create a lot of one-on-ones, and that's what we want. And I think this is going to be more advantageous for Will. And I think players are going to get a little bit better with what they're asked to do. And I think these players fit better. And they're going to be able to attack more because they're going to be able to stop the run. Like they brought in some professional run stoppers. So I think I'm pretty secure in saying that Arvell Reese is going to be the pick. And if you guys tuned in yesterday, we had a debate and I think both guys did really well, but I think it won out saying that, you know, Arvell Reese might be the player that's best suited to go for this defense going forward.
Were you entertained by the Joe Blewett versus one of your guys, Frankie V, head-to-head debating Reese and Bailey?
Well, first off, they're both my guys. I love those guys. It was hilarious, Jake. I was almost crying. I was almost crying. My fiance was staring at me, looking at my phone. It was good, man. It was getting heated, man. Frankie started sweating. It was good. It was good. It was good. Frankie went on an elite rant as well too after Bengate. Frankie might have started Bengate, so I think that he and shout out to Dylan Terraman too. He started the whole Bengate thing, so I'm sure that we'll probably have T-shirts here soon.
Yeah, Frankie's like Arvell Reese rant that day on Twitter, and then him and Bloat
Legendary.
going at it. I'm like, I'm not doing my
Legendary.
job if I don't try and get them both on to debate this.
Legendary.
I'm glad they did. And when
Legend.
Frankie's like, I played D1, that was my favorite part of the whole thing.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, first, when we start, pulling out that we used to play card, that's when you know it's getting real hairy, the situation. When your back's against the wall, man, you got to fight back. So kudos to Frankie and shout out to Joe for being great sports, man. I thought it was great for the fans.
Yep. I learned a lot. And I think if you're a Jet fan, that's what you want. Doc Jet fan checks in. We might have to revisit campaign financing laws with regard to all these gifted memberships. Doc, you might be on to something, but I am to quote Bobby at Midnight, Catfish. So anyone who wants to gift a membership on their day, they're competing. I'm all for it. Plus, you are in the Asmaniac raffle. When you do so, for those who tuned in late, we got one of the best raffle prizes I think I have ever raffled away. End of the show, signed Zach Wilson helmet. Psych. April Fools, signed Don Maynard helmet across both our shows today. Your chance to enter. Jay Quest writes in, happy 1-year anniversary of Charles Gorman getting catfished for those who celebrate. Jay Quest, appreciate the reminder. Let's just say we might revisit that moment in Asmaniac history at some point during our shows today. On that note, though, open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. We'll do some calls with Omari, but before we do that, one question from the Muji presser that I wanted to get your take on. Muji asked about Ty Simpson, said, yeah, we had a great workout with him. Great to get to know him. Glenn, way more positive, kind of did Aaron Glenn-like things when talking about him, but also said what he said about Geno Smith. As we sit here right now, do you think Ty Simpson will be a Jet? Not if they'll take him at 16 or 33, but just in general, as we sit here now, 22 days and 9 hours and 1 minute away from the draft. Is Ty Simpson ultimately going to be drafted at some point by the New York Jets?
No, I think Ty Simpson is going to be drafted by either the Los Angeles Rams or the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're way more equipped to develop Ty Simpson at this current state.
There you go. Look, I think he's still in play, but I'll tell you what, the head coach saying Geno Smith's going to lead them to the promised land. That doesn't sound like to me a team that's planning on taking a quarterback at 16. I think Ty is only in play if he's there in the second round.
Absolutely. I think they're going to trade that pick 33 unless Ty Simpson is there. And I think at that point, Jake, it falls into your lap. And then you have a 4-year runway, and then whatever is going to happen during the fall, you can always readjust and you can always take another QB. And if you use a second rounder on a QB, you're not married to that guy anyway. So I think 33 is the only time. But even then, I'm going to get a safety that can go take the ball away. I'm not going to spend it on a QB that needs a ton of development.
Omar, it looks like I'm going to lose you, but you know what? Well, you battled through the best you could. I can handle the calls on my end. I don't want to keep having you reset and bring you on. So we will do a pause here with you. We'll get you better internet somehow for next week. We'll start the GoFundMe.
Absolutely.
We'll do whatever we have to do. We'll call Elon Musk and get you Starlink sent to your home. We're going to figure it out because your insight's tremendous. And I look forward to having you on every week, man. Looking forward to doing it again next week with you.
Thanks, Jake. Sorry about the internet. We'll get this fixed. I'm going to call Verizon right after this, man. Have a good week.
Ladies and gentlemen, Omari Brown. Hit the like button. Hey, could I give a huge shout out to two outstanding Asmaniacs? Shout out to Joe Smasher Lee and Maxwell Lee for repping the Jake Asman Show hat out and about yesterday. Look at this photo. Father-son duo, the likes of which we've never seen before. So shout out to Joe Smasher Lee, young Maxwell. Great family. Shout out to the great Amanda Miller as well, who's really the brains of the entire Miller Lee operation we have going on there, on Long Island in Merrick. So look, this is what greatness is, folks. All right. The Jake Asman Show hat, which is available at jakeasman.com. What a concept. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Max. Let's go, Jets. More of your calls coming up. Let's hit it.
Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets!
All right, here we go. Let's say hello to a man who is in a fierce competition against Papa Jet in the round of 32. First up today is Adam.
Adam is cool, although kind of basic. He claims he's too cool, though often quite basic. He makes great jet points, looks a little basic. Adam is cool, too cool, but basic. Some would say generic.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
What a shirt, Adam. Wow.
Happy April Fool's Day. I made a fool of myself for you all. If you haven't heard, rewind that rap that I collabed with the Jets Johnny. I want to win today, if it's not clear enough. I might not be the best rapper, but I'm willing to embarrass myself. I'm willing to expand beyond the basic label that I'm on. I'm not even wearing the same glasses today, so I don't look like that moron Allen. So what more can I do? I want it so badly.
Wow.
And I would love to match up with Leany. So that's my campaign speech. And I haven't done this on the show, so I'm just going to do it right now. Jets! 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 Let's fucking go!
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
I didn't even know Adam is too cool, could raise his voice, let alone curse. Are you kidding me? What a tournament. Good luck to Adam. Good luck to Papa. Papa, if you call in, you'll cut the line and go right to the front. Vote, vote, vote. It's tight right now. 52-49. Oh, it just changed, as I was saying, at 51-49. Adam, that jet chan, that passion got you some votes. Let's stay with more of your calls right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is...
When he's home, his bell is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his bell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. He calls the show, his bell is on the bed. He's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the Jets, super jets. Where's a big fella, sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. Where's a big fella?
Hey, man, what's up?
The big fella. How are you, sir?
Good, man. Good. Got a good matchup today. These two guys are really good callers, bro.
Very good guys. I was shocked to see Adam have that level of passion, though. He wants it bad. I love it.
Hey, he's not he may be cool, but he's not like I don't know, boring, I guess. You know? So I got a question. Why aren't the Jets getting Aaron Glenn media training?
You know what's interesting? I think for a lot of what he said yesterday, he was more laid back and more personable. It's just him, man. He just always got to take it a little, like he starts feeling himself like, oh, the play calling is my superpower. It's just like, that's just him. Like, he just can't help himself.
I mean, it's like, get the hint, bro. You need you can't say certain things, man. This is New York, the tri-state area, I mean, it's like, things get magnified 100% here, 1,000% here. You can't come out with bullshit like that. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. I just don't understand why someone hasn't talked to him and be like, yo, tune it down a little bit, because the back page is gonna be your face with clown makeup on all the time, bro. So I don't know. That's what I had to say about that. Now, here's something that happened last night. I got a Discord message from Amanda, right? And Amanda was like, "Hey, we had a conversation and everything," and she's like, "I'd appreciate your endorsement." So I'm gonna give her my endorsement for her matchup against Gary tomorrow.
Wow.
And it isn't against Gary. He's actually been very, he's been more calm during this tournament and everything. I think that's part of his plan to advance, not be as polarizing. But Amanda's been great. I mean, the first time I met her, she was at the Carolina game. She was very quiet and everything, hung out, with the 4%ers and everything. And, then, she's come out of her shell, and I think her calls have improved. And I think, that's something to say. I mean, getting her to do Jets chants in the middle of traffic is tough for anybody, and she's trying. So, that's what I got to say about that.
Wow. That is a strong endorsement. I mean, the big fella, you carry a lot of weight, big fella.
I don't know. Well, I do have a lot of weight, but I don't know about carrying a lot of weight. But no, she's great. She's a welcome addition to the Asmaniac community, and she holds her own when Gary goes at her, and that's something to be respected. So that's what I got to say about that.
That's well said. Now, how are you feeling about your upcoming matchup? Because I mean, I look at the battle against the Lumpman, and you talk about two of the nicest people that are a part of this community, and that's you and Lumpy.
Let me tell you something. Lumpy is amazing. I hung out with him at the Carolina game, and the first time I met him was at the draft party. And he's bigger than what I thought. He's like my height, and he's a really nice guy. Knows a lot about his stuff. You know, you say Lumpman delivers. Well, he really does, because he's an excellent man and a great Jet fan, and I'm honored to be going up against him.
I can't wait. Big fella, I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, there he goes, the great big fella.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
A message from the Vote for Amanda Madison campaign.
We have a big round of 32 matchup coming up. It's Amanda Madison versus Gary 3D Boxing. Who do you think is going to clinch the victory?
Amanda Madison, because she kicks ass.
That wasn't paid for at all.
Have you seen Gary?
He doesn't think women deserve the right to vote.
Endorsing Amanda here. She's the best, and she's a Jets fan. She's the one. She's the truth.
JETS, Jets.
You know, I'm a little fan of Amanda. So I'll go for her.
You heard it here, folks. Vote Amanda Madison. So in the upcoming round of 32 match, who do you think's going to win? Amanda or Gary?
Gary. Amanda's going to win.
Hell yeah.
Even Theo is bored of Gary's takes. Vote Amanda Madison.
So I'm sitting around Tuesday night, minding my own business, and what happens, like every night, some attractive young lady slips into my DMs. It's Amanda Madison, and she wants me to endorse her in Asmaniac Madness against Gary, 3D Boxing. Well, you know, I never thought I'd be the number one seed in, Asmaniac Madness before, and I was flattered, and I thought about it, and I said, she asked me, he didn't, I'm more than glad to. Vote for Amanda Madison.
Hello, fellow Asmaniacs. Derek, the Kansas Jets fan here. I was asked by a friend, Amanda Madison, to endorse her campaign against Gary. Vote Amanda. JETS. Jets.
Hanging out here, checking in from the lair.
Hey, we're here to endorse Amanda Madison in her upcoming match. She is wonderful, and she is going to kick ass.
Go, Amanda.
JETS. Jets.
Hey, to the great Asmaniacs. It's Leanie here. I thought I'd pop in to give my endorsement to the great Amanda Madison. She's one of the 4%ers, and when she calls in, she's got some really good Jet takes. So let's get another 4%er into the next round. Vote for Amanda Madison.
Take that, Gary.
What a video. What an endorsement there. It's like the Avengers all coming together to take out Thanos. Where's Charles Corbett when you need him? All right, more of your calls here. Reminder, the giveaway on the show is a signed Don Maynard helmet, so make sure you enter for your chance to win that. Join the Patreon by the end of today if you want your name added to our intro. Let's say hello to Fibrows, who's next today. What's up, Fibrows?
Hey, what's up, brother? Good morning. How you doing? Oh, I'm hanging out with Beastbreaker, bro. We're chilling. I saw that. That was hilarious, dude. I can't believe that was the craziest. That was the craziest comp I've ever seen and the most accurate. But like, I'm joking. I know he's a nice guy. Anyway, I wanted to talk about what I really wanted to talk about was I hope Tyson does follow us at 16. I think he's the best wide receiver in the class if you just take away the injuries. Hines Ward coached him. I just think not just because of Hines Ward, obviously, but like I just think this guy's like a dog, and if we could get him, I would love that. Omar Cooper, I like your take. I like Omar Cooper as well. I mean, I don't think he's going to be there at 33, so we would have to get him at 16. Yeah, like it looks like we're going to get Arvell Reese, but like I did see comments where, like you said about Gibbs and how they just take who they want to take. So, and I did see a paragraph about how he said love. He said love like 10 times, and people were like, oh, maybe he wants Jeremiah Love, but I don't think so. Obviously not with Brees and everything. But I would love, I think we could do Arvell Reese, or I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think one of the picks is going to shock everyone. One of the picks we're going to be like, what the heck? You know, like I definitely think we're going to be like pissed off on draft day, but hopefully one of them works. Like obviously, hopefully they'll pan out, but I definitely think we don't know. We think we know, but we really have no idea who they're going to pick. We're going to be surprised for sure.
I think that Reese is the overwhelming favorite to go at 2. I think 16 is a bit of a toss-up because of the unknown and what happens in front of them. Like there's 15 players that are going to come off the board. We know 2 of them are going to be Mendoza and probably Reese. And then after that, we have an idea, but you never know. And I do think there's a scenario where the Jets, you just follow what Glenn was saying yesterday. If they love a guy, maybe they just go up and get him. They use 16 and 44, package that to go and get, Carnell Tate or one of the other receivers they identify, or maybe Caleb Downs starts to slide and all of a sudden he's there for them. I think 16 is way more wide open than 2 is at this point. I think 2 is going to be Reese, and I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
I hope it's Reese, but part of me thinks like Glenn's just fucking insane and he's going to be like, fuck it, let's get Sonny Styles at 2, which I wouldn't hate it. But
that wouldn't be the craziest thing though, because he's such a great player, but I think Reese is better suited to go 2 because he could be a pure edge, whereas Sonny Styles is great, but I don't think he's ever going to be an edge. I'm trying to remember which draft analyst said this because, I've had the thought, hey, if we're just saying Reese can convert full time to be an edge, why can't Sonny Styles do the same thing? I forget who said it, but it might have been Connor Rogers. I don't want to not give the person credit. I think it was Connor though. He talked about just like the power in Reese's hands being just just so much better than Styles or really any other like prospect. Of what makes a great edge is that power and speed that you get in the hands, and Reese has that at a higher level than Styles does. So but Styles is awesome. Like he's an amazing player, and if you just played him at linebacker, he probably is going to be an all-pro linebacker.
Yeah, Reese was Dane Brugler's favorite prospect like the whole college season. Like, and people are saying he's raw, but like even like his first few games, he was like, "This is my favorite prospect. The power is undeniable." And a lot of knuckleheads say like they try to compare him to Vernon Golston, but they're like totally different players. They're not the same, in my opinion. They're not even in the same. Like, I don't think you can compare Vernon Golston and over Reese only if you're just helmet scouting. I think it's bullshit. But I've heard a lot of
people saying, Christian Hackenberg and Drew Allard are the same prospect. It's just lazy analysis. Like you can't evaluate prospects that way.
The most lazy analysis. But a lot of people are Jets haters, so I hear it all the time. Being a Jets fan, people just be like, "Oh, he's going to be like," but it's just it's the stuff we deal with as a Jets fan. But I'll be excited. I don't think we're going to take Ty Simpson. Maybe we'll trade into the first round. Maybe we go for like 27, 28, 29. We trade up if we really like covet him, but I don't think he's there at 33 either. I think Omar Cooper and Ty Simpson are gone at 33. It'll be truly interesting. Also, I would like Jermod McCoy at 16 if Tyson's not there. I don't know. He had a great pro day. I know he came off an ACL injury, but he ran like a 4.38. He tested out the gym. He did great. I mean, he looks like he's all the way back, and he's a top prospect. So I would not be mad at Jermod McCoy. Getting a top cornerback and a top linebacker in Reese, I wouldn't be mad at that haul. I mean, I know we need a wide receiver, but
They have so many other needs though than corner. Like you invested a 3rd-round pick in Thomas a year ago. You signed Stevens. You traded for Brownlee. You signed Deshaun Wright. You got to just Aaron Glenn's a former corner. Like you got to just make it work with the investments you've already put into that room and use the 16th pick on a different player. You traded Sauce. So you're just going to replace Sauce with a rookie. Like I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I like Deshaun Wright. I forgot about that signing. But yeah, I mean, I hear you. Maybe at like 33, if Colton Hood or someone like that falls to us, that would be sick. Maybe 33, maybe not 16. That might be too much of reach, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm excited though, man. It's only a few days away. It's gonna be an interesting draft. A lot of people are talking a lot of shit about Garrett Wilson too. Like they just think he's not even gonna be relevant because not on the Jets, but like in fantasy football, they're like, oh, he sucks. He's a Jet quarterback. He's worthless. It's just crazy, man. We get a lot of disrespect. So, and AG is a walking meme. So like, it doesn't help.
Who's hating on Garrett though? I think he's widely considered to be a legit number one who's had terrible quarterback play
on Reddit. On the internet, like if you look at like
type in Jake Asman on Reddit, you want to talk about hate? Like Reddit's just a cesspool of hate.
I don't hate you, Jake. I think you're an amazing guy. But
thanks, my bros. I think you're a great guy as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go, but I'll leave the audience with Beastbreaker. He's chilling too much. I gotta leave. I gotta clean the attic. His mom's calling me, so I gotta.
Beastbreaker's mom is calling you.
Yeah. His mom's calling me, so I gotta make him breakfast, and he's hungry. So I'll catch you guys later.
Beast, is this true?
No, that guy's lying through his teeth. He's a dumbass. And you know what? As Red Form once said, that guy's a dumbass. Low IQ, probably got the brains of a pissant, and he probably has the brains of a turtle shit and earwax right through his ears.
I'm a total loser in Jake's chat, living at home with my parents. I have stuff to say about the Jets, and I'm the best.
Yeah, Beast. That's who Fibrows is, right? Wow. Look at this. Frank P. $50 super chat, 10 raffle tickets in the Don Maynard helmet raffle. Frank P says, I am also endorsing Amanda. I couldn't get my video to her in time. Go Amanda. A lot of support for Amanda Madison in her upcoming battle against Gary 3D Boxing. Super chat from Jay, who says, Gator sending Beast to the hole was probably a top 5 moment in Jake Asman history. Promised land, baby.
Like, I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
That's right. What a second show yesterday was. Of all the drama, Adam is too cool in the raffle for 2 more entries. Let's close out the W. JETS, Jets. Vote for Adam is too cool. Rewind for the rap and my chant. Love to all. Adam in a tight one right now against Papa Jet. It's 50-50 this late in the show. That is a big time Asmaniac Madness battle. Papa Jet, if you call in, you go right to the front of the line. I saw you in the chat earlier, so obviously the floor is yours if you want to call in and make your case. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Appreciate everyone who's on hold. We're going to get to you, so stay right there. Let's say hello to a man hailing from Vermont.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Hello, Bob. Bob.
Hi, Jake. How you doing?
Good, Bob.
I wanna do something from Amanda. Vote for Amanda tomorrow against Gary, please. Ready? Put me full screen. Put me full screen, please. Okay, give me an A, give me a M, give me A, give me an N. Give me a D, give me A. What does that spell? Amanda! And Amanda, I love your dog too. How's that, Shank?
That was a great chance we've ever seen.
But I think Adam Too Cool is better than Alan's chair for the Jets. You got to give him that credit. He did good in the car.
Oh yeah.
And I shaved today. They see shave.
Oh, look at you.
Shave. Yeah,
Shaving
I decided
McGee,
to
they
shave.
call
I
you.
couldn't. Yeah, Shaving McGee. I love her dog. I think it was Chloe. I think.
No, Chloe's my dog.
I think. No, not Chloe, but he was. Oh no, what did she say? She said her dog's name. I forgot, but he's cute, like your dog, Chloe. They should go to get a date together. And the Yankees won yesterday 5-0.
They did.
They're on a roll this year, huh? Shutting out people. Their pitcher, Max Fried, second shutout. No runs, Max Fried.
You look good.
Good.
Yeah.
And then who, me? Oh, the Yankees, yeah. Yes. I know they're on a roll. They only lost one, so they only gave up 1 run this whole season, so that's good in 4 games. Not bad.
Very good.
So it's a beautiful day. After my nurse takes care of my foot at 1 o'clock, I'm going to take a walk. Then I'm going to have my show today because it's my favorite day of the year. You know what day
Calm
it
your
is?
freaky down.
Day. I am the biggest fool of them all. Am I coming in better than the other way?
You're still very delayed, but I'm just basking in the glory of just seeing you back on the screen, Bob. I know you've been through a lot. But your internet stinks.
I know. I don't know what's going on with my internet. Maybe I get I get a better internet. I want to get upgraded, probably. All right, so we'll talk to you, Jake, later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Over now. Bye-bye.
Bobby Midnight.
2 idiots sharing the same brain. Let me address it for you so you can maybe get the dicks out your ears. I do mine 2 or 3 times a week. And also, basura, la mente, los el carrones, el burto cotoyes chingo su madre. See, I took Spanish too. That's why I'm very, very respected.
Okay, Beast.
You got 5 seconds. Make it.
We were having a great conversation. We just want to know.
Shut your hole.
Oh, yeah. He's back, folks.
Bang!
All right. Let's see if we can try and get the show back on track. I do have a couple super chats that I see. Flight Risk Jet says, I can't stand the Gary slander. Flight Risk endorsing Gary in the raffle for 2. We got a super chat from J Quest who says, happy anniversary to Gorman getting catfished. For those who celebrate, did Bobby spell Amanda wrong? ? Vote Gary. I think he spelled it right, J Quest. Because if he spelled it wrong, I think everyone in the chat would have pounced on Bobby immediately. NYC to SRQ. This is our guy, Cash Money Mike. He's in the raffle for 1. Thank you, Mike. I see LV Lasso is in the chat. That's our pal, Michael Lasso, who is out in Las Vegas. And Michael, did you see that, even years later, you're still a meme? For those who don't know, and longtime listeners know this, there was an incident in Las Vegas at a courthouse a couple years back. Once I show you the clip, you're going to remember exactly what I'm referring to. So this was the incident, right? You had the guy, the criminal, going full like Troy Polamalu. Take a look at this. So the meme is Roger Goodell with the 16th pick in the 2026 NFL draft. The New York Jets select Tice, and then. Remember that? Well, the guy right here, him, that's Michael Lasso. That's Lasso for those who are new to the show. Michael called it and told us all about that experience. But this is the guy. That's an Asmaniac trying to save the day. I haven't watched the whole thing in a while. The Lasso.
Get off her. Oh, man, you're good. You're good. Stop. Don't do this. Hey, where's Mary Kate? Is she okay?
Unbelievable. Well, that was Michael Lasso trying to save the day. And this video is still being memed because I got tagged in this by a couple people. Shout out to Jack P down here. So I quote tweeted this morning. I go, the best part about this video is that the county clerk on the right that comes to the judge's defense is named Michael Lasso. He's a diehard Jet fan and a daily listener of mine. So shout out to you, Michael. Hopefully your punches have improved since then. Love it. Lasso's a legend in the Asmaniac community. You got to call in again, Lasso. We missed your calls. Let me see. We got a couple people on hold, but there's a guy that called in who's going to skip to the front of the line. Now, why is that? That's because he's in a battle right now in Asmaniac Madness. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Papa Jet.
Holy shit, look at that beard! He has a beard, he's the man. Ain't no Santa Claus. Papa Jet loves the jet. He's one handsome son of a bitch. It's Papa Jet.
Hello, Jake.
Papa.
You got me?
We got you.
Yeah, sorry, but I would have called in sooner, but I had a meeting. So
50-50 right now, Papa. You called in at the perfect time.
Yeah, it's a battle. You know, Adam's a good kid. You know, he's good caller, good member of the Asmaniac Nation. See him on Discord a lot. So yeah, it's a tough battle. I'm thinking he might have helped me out with his little rap ditty there because I'm rock and roll, you know, he's rap. So, but anyways, you know, I'm new to this tournament stuff. It's my first time being in. I told you before, I don't know if I got the juice to like what Thunderlips does and all that, you know, that stuff's great and it's funny, but I don't know what I could bring, you know, but this is about the best I got. I'll just give the Asmaniacs 2 reasons why they should vote for me in this matchup. And first, I mean, it's not his fault, but he looks like Elon, you know? And I'm not saying I'm a Rudolph Valentino, you know, I'm not. I probably look like Sasquatch or a garden gnome or whatever. But he looks like Elon. I mean, not his fault how he comes out of the womb, but that should be worth a vote, I would think. And the only other thing I got is our intros. My intro, Led Zeppelin. His intro, The Carpenters. So Asmaniacs, right there it is. Led Zeppelin or the Carpenters. You decide. That's all I got, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, Papa Jet.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Don Maynard signed helmet is our giveaway. On Saturday, our weekly prizes, Klecko signed jersey, Garrett Wilson signed football, Darrell Revis signed football. And another quick reminder that the Jets Collective episode 2 is coming your way tonight at 7 Eastern time. Before we get to our next group of callers, let's talk about one of our sponsors today. That is Rula. Jet fans, listen up. You know what stress is like. Watching the Jets on Sunday, Monday, dealing with the news cycle in the offseason, the draft, free agency. If you're invested in the Jets, it's a full-time emotional commitment, and that's a lot like life. A lot of people carry that same stress into work, family life, relationships, all of it. I've seen friends and people in my life benefit from therapy when things start piling up. The problem is it's usually hard to get started or it's way too expensive. And that's where Rula comes in. Rula is a healthcare provider group that makes therapy simple and affordable. They work with most major insurance plans, and the average copay is about $15 per session. That's less than a beer at MetLife. With Rula, you get matched with a licensed, vetted therapist who actually fits what you're looking for, and you could book your sessions fast, sometimes as soon as the next day. No long waits, no guessing, no nonsense. If you're ready to invest in your mental health the same way you invest in the Jets every week, go to Rula.com/Asman and get started today. All the info is in the description for this video, but it's Rula.com/Asman. Take the first step and take control of your mental health with Rula. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. On the Gusbuster umbrella hotline is Gary's tax accountant. Hello, Gary's tax accountant.
Yeah, good morning, Jake. Good morning. You can call me Mr. X CPA. Listen, I feel obligated to call in and nominate Amanda to win this contest with Gary tomorrow. I know Gary fairly well, getting to know Amanda. She's terrific. I think you should vote for her. It's a door. I got to go. It's the cops. I got to go now. Goodbye, Jake.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Bravo, Doc. Well done. Gary's tax accountant, Mr. CPA. Well done. Well done. Shout out to Adam is too cool with a super chat.
Yeah.
I took the day off for this. I said the chant. So what if I look like Alan? I'm every bit of a rock and roll as Papa Jet. Vote for me and find out next week against Leanie. Ladies and gentlemen, calling back in to respond to Papa Jet is Adam is too cool. Hello, Adam.
Hey, so this is where I was when my intro was introduced. That's pretty cool. How you all doing?
How are you doing, Adam?
Hanging in there, man. I knew this was going to be a tough battle. Papa Jet is an OG. Papa Jet is awesome. I wouldn't be working this hard if Papa Jet was a pushover. So he is every bit of the giant as we've all voted for him to be. But I want to win this, man. I want to win this so bad. I'm just thinking of all the possibilities about the matchup with me and Leanie. But I got to take care of business first. Papa Jet's the guy. I love the Jets, man. I'm here in a Wegmans. I'm here in Buffalo territory where they put Josh Allen on the cereal boxes. J-E-B-S, Jets, Jets, Jets.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adam.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
We've never seen so much personality from Adam. Love it. The tournament bringing out the best in some of our callers. Big Fella says, go to Rula, not me. Big Fella is only a licensed therapist for one man and one man only.
Vote for Queen Amanda tomorrow. Gary will be put down and he'll be squashed like baby shit through a baby can. And Gary, you have no diarrhea. Cha cha cha.
More of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. The Lane Train.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Hello, Jake.
Hello, Lane.
Long time no call in.
Yes, long time no call in.
I had a little bit of my liver count was high. That's why I was in the hospital.
You were in the hospital, Lane?
Yeah, they had to call the ambulance, but
how long were you there for?
5 days.
No way. I'm so sorry to hear that. Are you okay now?
Yeah, I wish I should have started off the right way. Yeah, I'm good. They actually made me peanut cup. The food didn't taste good. But I want to also wish you a happy anyway. I want to wish you a very happy Passover if you celebrate it.
Well, thank you, Lane. Happy Passover to everyone.
Yeah, I actually was cooking. I
Yeah,
helped
are you a big matzah guy, Lane?
Yes, I like matzah with jelly on it.
Matzah with jelly, nice.
So anyway, I think this whole madness, I think I want Lainey to win. Leanie to win rather.
You want Leanie to win? Well, she's got a good chance to win. She's on quite the run right now.
Really? I mean, hopefully I could pull it out in this round against.
Now, Lane, here's where you're at in the bracket. You're going up against Chef Kevin in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I know. How do you feel about the draft in 3 months now? I mean, you think they have a chance of drafting all the college players or not?
So I would be surprised if they drafted anyone in 3 months, but in 3 weeks, I think they're going to try and draft college players.
Yeah, I mean, do you draft either Tyler Smith or do you draft Reed, or do you draft who else is there that you could pick up in a draft?
Well, the Jets could maybe take Arvell Reese.
Do you get Carl Simpson?
I prefer Homer.
Homer Simpson? Well, I mean, RJ Reese. I mean, honestly, I think you could draft him for the was it the second round?
Hey, Lane,
and
how do you feel
also-
about going up against Chef Kevin here? Sweet 16 graphic.
I think it's going to be hard because I know he's good. He likes to cook. So, I mean, hopefully I could beat him in the round.
You want to say hi to him?
Let me put Chef Kevin on.
He's always cooking or coaching or flashing his green. This man is cooking or kicking Asmaniac. He's at the tailgate. He's cooking, blowtorch in his food. A diehard Jets legend, the chef they call Kevin. Chef Kevin.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm going up against you.
Yeah,
in the
Lane.
round.
You said you're a little nervous going against me?
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about the Jets going into it this year?
Hey man, Jets are an incredible team. They're a part of most of our lives. Who call into this show, man? I bleed green. You know, for myself, I love talking about football, Lane. That's my thing.
Yeah.
You know, going against you in this Asmaniac Madness tournament,
Yeah.
I know I have my hands full. I just want to know what's your favorite thing to eat, man.
I love steak.
Okay. What do you like? Anything on top of your steak? You like
Yeah.
mushrooms, onions, blue
sauteed
cheese?
mushrooms. Sauteed mushrooms. I would eat with it. I actually had it the other night, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
And
Because I
what
like
cut of meat? Are you a ribeye, strip steak?
ribeye. I like
Oh,
nice juicy ribeye. I usually
you
put it
fancy.
on top. And I heard that Gary's still in also.
He is.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he'll win with the points?
He's in
Going
for a tough battle. Him versus Amanda is going to be a lot of fun.
against Amanda? Oh. Carly is. Oh, wow. He looks like a cartoon character.
What do you think of Big Fella and
the
Lumpy?
Big Fella. Papa Jet, what he said. Mad Max and Australian Jets fan. Papa
Who'd you
Jet's
vote for
gonna
today,
win.
Lane? Did you vote for
I
Adam
think-
or Papa?
Papa. He has to win because I like what he said.
What did he
He
say?
had him in, well, I mean, he was talking about the Jets and everything.
Yep.
And I think that whole video in the courtroom, that was like they were arguing.
That's one of our listeners who saved the judge there, Lane. Michael,
Yeah,
he's
I-
watching the show.
Really? Oh, so
Yeah.
So anyway, what else are you gonna do today?
I'm just working all day.
My cousins are busy for Passover. They're in Los Angeles, actually.
Well, you say hi to the entire Lane Train family, all right, Lane? I'm glad
Yeah.
you're out of the hospital and you're back and better than ever.
Yeah, I went out on Thursday. I was released. Yeah. Oh, so anyway, how do you feel about Wilkes? You think he'll do well next year?
Who?
Wilkes.
I think he's unemployed.
Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Lane, you're the man. Great call, Chef Kev. Look, you got the intro now, but you got a tough battle for a spot in the Elite Eight, man. That is a tough Sweet 16 matchup right there.
I'm scared of Lane. I don't know what the call like he just overpowered everything right now. I don't know the angles. Clifton wasn't lying when he was talking about losing sleep. Right now, like I got my hands full. Now I gotta spend a lot of money getting ribeyes and all this other kind of stuff to kind of show him I'm gonna eat him up and all that kind of stuff. Like, plus he just got out the hospital, so now I gotta, I can't be too crazy. I gotta worry about the guy's health and all that. I don't want him getting crazy, but I gotta make sure that he shows up. He might not show up, and it still might be a crazy ass battle. So I gotta kind of pick my lane and figure out the angle on how to go about him, because right now it's pretty tough. And quick note before I run, man. I told you before, Jake, I couldn't call in. Yo, I got inventory right now. I'm doing a whole bunch of things. I got a blueberry mascarpone cake that we're gonna put on the menu, little specials menu. See how we get that. So I'm busy with the inventory and all that, dude. So once I heard Lane, I'm like, hell nah. I'm like, yo, I gotta call in. This dude's here. I don't know. He could call in another 3 months or whatever and be like, yo, what happened? And he could have won the whole Asmaniac Madness thing. So I had a call right now, and then to see I got an intro now, Gator. Yo, man, my God, yo, that was beautiful, man. Thank you guys so much.
Kev, I know you got to work. Enjoy it. Congrats on the Asmaniac Madness W yesterday, and looking forward to you versus the Lane Trade in the next round.
I appreciate that. And to Neil, man, yo, we had a battle, dude. It ain't no hard feelings, man. Yo, you're still my top 3 favorite Asmaniac callers, man. You a legend in the community, man. It was a well-fought battle, man. My hat's off to you. Jake, thanks for everything, brother.
Kev, you're the man.
He's always cooking or coaching or flashing his green. This man is cooking or kicking as maniac. He's at the tailgate, he's cooking, blowtorching his food. A diehard Jets legend, the chef they call Kevin. Chef Kevin.
Shout out to Gator for the Chef Kevin intro. I love it. All right, couple calls left. Let's say hello to a man who's in action this afternoon in Asmaniac Madness. The Australian Jet fan. How are you going to pull this off with the time difference, AJF?
I don't know. I was actually asleep when this show started, but I set an alarm so I could wake up and call in, because that's what it takes. That's what it takes if you want to survive in this bracket. And I'm very motivated to move on to the next round. I know it's going to be a tough task at hand, but if you guys vote for me through to the next round, I will go to McDonald's in my full Jets outfit and eat a whole meal through the helmet. It'll be awkward, but I'll do it. I'll record it, put it in 5 times speed or whatever I have to, send it in. But yeah, I will definitely be making the effort to call in again onto the next show. But yeah, I really want to beat Mad Max, so I'd love support from all the Asmaniacs. I believe that we can do it.
Well, here's the thing with you against Mad Max. On one hand, you could be half asleep because of the time difference, and Mad Max is going to come in and just bring the energy.
Can you hear me? Oh my God!
I'm scared there's gonna be a hole in my wall when I wake up.
Good job.
It could be tough, but I do think you have a great chance. I think your commitment to the Jets and to the show, anyone who's watched knows that is the case. Your commitment to just being in this tournament, given the time difference. What time is it there right now in Australia?
2:45 a.m.
I mean, enough said. So I think you got a great chance. I mean, Mad Max has his followers, but I think you have a lot of people who are in your corner as well. So that should be a great battle.
I mean, a lot of people didn't expect me to make it through the first round, so hopefully I can make it through the second as well, and cause another upset. We want that Cinderella run. We're still shaving everything off the head and the face if we win the whole thing. As much as that seems out of reach, you still got to believe. I can't give up. I'm a Jets fan after all, so thanks to everyone who makes this tournament happen, and hopefully I'll be here for the next round.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Australian Jets fan.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
We gave Adam a second call. We go back to Papa Jet, who right now leads 53-47 with just a little bit of time left in our show. Hello, Papa.
Hey, Jake, how you doing? You got me still?
We got you loud and clear, Papa.
No, I forgot to mention, you know, I'm a little older, but I've been a Jets fan since 1972. Faithful. John Riggins Mohawk is what captured me. I told you that on my very first call to the show, which I think is kind of cool. And the biggest thing is I'm a Jets fan, faithful, in Bills territory. I don't know if too many people know that, and that's not an easy thing to do. I get a lot of shit. Let's just say that. But
it ain't easy. Hey, at least you're a Sabres fan who's about to watch playoff hockey. Sorry.
Not till they clinch.
You're in a good spot, I believe.
Yeah, I am. Since December, I think they only got like 6 regulation losses. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they destroyed my Islanders last night in a huge game. Not destroyed, but that was a tough loss for the Islanders who need every win right now to make the playoffs.
And you know what, Jake? They did it. They fired the GM and the new guy came in and they didn't make any moves. It was the same team. He basically just said, get your head out of your ass or you're not going to be here, you know? But I don't know if I got to bring out the guns here before I close my call. Mama Jet, want to give a Papa Jet? You want to just say vote for Papa Jet?
Vote for Papa Jet.
Wow, the big gun.
I'm bringing out the big guns, Jake.
Love it. Love it. 53-47. Papa Jet's leading. Make sure you vote.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Great call there by Papa. Adam's calls have been great. Doc Jet fan with a super chat. The previously aired endorsement of Amanda by Gary's accountant, Mr. X CPA, in no way expresses the implied consent of Doc Jet fan Inc. Both are terrific. Doc, well done. All right, I got to give some love to this guy. I thought he brought it during Asmaniac Madness. Video after video bringing us nonstop laughter. But he just ran into a buzzsaw that is Queen Leanie. But Thunderlips is on the line, and he deserves all the praise in the chat. Mr. Lips, I know you didn't win, but God, did you deserve a better fate than yesterday. You just ran into Leanie, man. There's just nothing else that needs to be said. But a tremendous job by you. Your videos were so fun all throughout the tournament. So just props to you. Thanks for everything.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate all your love and support. Can you hear me? JDS. Jets.
No, I'm just messing around. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. No, it's fun, dude. Like my wife literally was like, thank God you lost so you could stop making stupid freaking videos and like making the kids do shit and stuff. So it was fun, man. This whole thing, like, it's not like, you know, it's not like high school popularity, like who's better, who's worse. I mean, I guess there is because it's a winner and a loser, but it's just fun, man. We're all Jets fans, and the show is great, bro. But yeah, so I just wanted to say with the Asmaniac Madness, it's, you know, who brings the entertainment, Jets takes. Like when I first got here, you know, I came in because of Bobby, right? Because I heard Bobby's voice and I thought, you know, someone was like, you know, they actually have a YouTube channel that shows live, because I was like, this guy sounds insane, you know? But dude, Gary, man, like since day one that I've been here for like 15 months, like with the moon landing, it's like every week it seems like something outlandish, like hate him or love him. I don't agree with all of his takes. He infuriates me sometimes and pisses me off, but he stands on business. He doesn't falter. He is never wrong. You know what I mean? So according to him, but he's entertaining, man. And he's a great Asmaniac. I don't know. I'm voting for Gary. I'm Team Gary, but it's nothing against Amanda. Amanda's cool.
Thunderlips, you really are a legend. And that stash, I mean, I don't think it's ever looked this good.
Well, I've been greasing it up, and I've been doing Kegels and shit. I haven't had a carb in 3 months. That's okay.
You just having a lot of butter? Are you doing the Gary diet?
Yep. Hell yeah. Oh, my God. But, hey, man, I like with a Jets draft, like, I'm not talking about, you know, thou who shall not be named at the end or the beginning, you know, end of the second round, beginning of the third or second, end of the first. But I think if we grab 2 wide receivers, man, like out of those top 4 draft picks, you know, I don't care what order it's in, but grab 2 wide receivers, because we haven't had, you know, a trio of legit receivers in like forever. And it's like, I don't count Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson as counting as like a number one, number two, because it was like a half a season, it seemed like. But like Big Dick Decker and Marshall, you know, it's like, it just, we need like to solidify this position. It feels like we've been slacking at wide receiver for so long. So that's what I really want out of this draft. You know,
I'm not even against it. They took 2 of them, honestly, 16, and then
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, come out with 2 wide receivers from this draft. Like if you're not gonna trade for one, you know, or obviously there's nothing left in free agency, but draft 2. I mean, hopefully they want at least one of them pans out, and then AD Mitchell develops and like is an awesome number 3. Or develops into a number 2, because that's going to take pressure off of Garrett, man. Like if Garrett's getting double teamed, and like, you know, even if it's pass catchers and it's Sadiq, you know, he's a pass catcher. We just need more. But I want to take the pressure off of Garrett so he could do what he does best. You know what I mean?
I think it's well said. Hopefully they get it right, man, because they're going to be, if they're not going to win a lot of games, at least score points.
Yep. All right, man. Well, I'm going to get back to pretending I'm working. So you guys have fun. Thanks,
ladies and gentlemen. Thunderlips. What are you eating for breakfast?
Oreo cereal.
That's not healthy, Beast. You're going to die of heart failure.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Squat and squat and squat.
Beast?
Konnichiwa.
What are you doing? It looks like you're peeing over there.
Just changing my shirt, and you jerk-offs better stop saying that I'm peeing in the chat, or I'm out of here. Who do you think you are? I am. I'm eating Oreos brought to you by the good people at Nabrisket. And if you don't like it, you get your meal ticket and go to the back of the line.
Well, is this extraordinary? Eating Oreos, they're gonna kill you.
You're about as useful as a screen door on a Volkswagen.
I had to take a Renzo, a hot one. Jerk off. No shit.
Thunderlips and the Thunderlips children. 1 of 1. Incredible. Hey, how about this? Thunderlips is inspiring other listeners. I just received this Venmo from Phil D'Angelo, who says Thunderlips oil for a stash, $20. Phil, I'm putting you in the raffle for 4. Let's go. Hit it.
Can you hear me?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Good job.
What's up, Asmaniacs? Can you guys hear me?
Oh, my God.
So we have a little Asmaniac match against Australian Jets fan. And then, honestly, Asmaniacs, vote for me in Asmaniac Madness. Vote for me. Australian Jets fan thinks it's going to be a competition. It's not going to be. Come on. But I'll be calling on this afternoon show. You know, Australian Jets fan is going to eat the McDonald's. Let's see how it's going to go, Australian Jets fan. Let's see what world you're going to be living in by this afternoon, honestly.
Oh, my God.
But honestly, Asmaniacs, I need to get my leg workout. Have a good show.
Can you hear me? Oh, my God.
Roll some footage, please. And turn the Nintendo music up. Roll the footage, please. Please go to the footage. And vote for Queen Madison tomorrow. And Gary will be squashed like a big fat pile of baby shit. Don't let go of the rubber. What are you talking about? This whole team looks like it's shot to shit. Who the hell do you think you are? I am.
Home stretch of the show. Hit the like button if you haven't. Reminder, we have a draft party coming up in Pittsburgh. Join me and your favorite Asmaniacs as we party at McFadden's. It is going to be an absolute blast. We'll be there all day on Thursday. Lock in your ticket for the draft. The New York Jets are on the clock at 2-16. Our party is free, just like going to the draft of the NFL is free as well. We're going to have a ton of fun. I can't wait. Let's go, baby. All right. It's almost that time. Right now, it's 54-46. Papa Jet leading. Adam is too cool. So this is your last chance to vote. If you want in on the conversation, the link is pinned. This will be your last chance. Cisco says it's the off season, and the show is so much fun. People ask me all the time, how do you do Jets year-round? Because we have the best community. It gives us storylines galore to talk about beyond just the Jets. Jay says Gary is content. Phil says Gary is a lunatic. Aussie Jet fan, Gary losing to a woman would be social justice as social justice at its finest. Big fella says, if I could get past Lumpy and can possibly go against Mad Max, I have plans. Lane says, how do you feel about the Mets now? Well, they didn't score any runs last night, Lane. But the Yankees won. Fried was great. Stanton with some big hits. Ben Rice. Nice start for the Yankees. They play today at 4. Let's see. Adam is too cool says, final push, vote passion. Vote for me. Anthony says, talk about going out of your way to try and make Glenn look bad. He does that on his own, Anthony. I didn't need to make Glenn look bad. He clearly meant the offense will work well with Smith's skills in our running game. He never meant what? Then say that. Say exactly what you just wrote. Don't say Geno Smith's going to lead us to the promised land. Don't pee on me and tell me it's raining. All right? He always says the wrong thing and creates unnecessary headlines. That is a fact. Just like play calling is a superpower when he wasn't that good as a DC in Detroit anyway. Why do you make excuses for him? He won 3 games in his first year. He started 0-7. He sucked. He should have been fired. He wasn't. I hope he proves me and many people who doubt him wrong. But I don't need to sit here and pretend that anything I saw in year 1 was normal or that should give me confidence. I'm making Aaron Glenn look bad. He did that on his own by coaching the Jets in year 1. By saying Justin Fields has never been coached properly. And he was the guy I wanted to sign because he gave me issues in Detroit. He was tough to game plan against. Everything he said, coaching, man, is coaching. Don't tell any diehard Jet fan who has reservations about this coach that we're making Glenn look bad. He does that on his own. You think John Harbaugh would ever say that, what Glenn said yesterday? You think Sean McVay would ever say that? Be honest. More of your calls before we wrap this baby up. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline right now is a man that we call the Lump Man.
My name is Lumpy, not Lumpy. I'm not De Niro, just call me Lumpy. I had a mullet the last time the Jets were winners. Don't call me Lumpy, 'cause I'm friggin' Lumpy.
Hey Jake, how you doing? How's everything going?
Hello, Lumpy.
It's crazy Asmaniac Madness this year. This is great. Saw a big fella get on there, say some kind words to me. Big fella, I love you too, brother. You bring nothing but great content as well. You are beloved. You do so much for so many people. That's going to be a tough matchup for me. I also got a text from Amanda Madison too, Discord. Didn't get it until after this morning. I do like to say Amanda Madison has come a long way. I mean, she is really, really just grown into this awesome person in this community. I think that her and Gary are a huge matchup. I think you're either going to vote or not vote for Gary. That's, I think, how it is. But if you're on the fence, I think Amanda Madison probably be the way to go. She's awesome and she's an up and comer, and that's what all Asmaniac's about. Just hope tomorrow I don't get slaughtered by the big fella. Hope some of you Lumpy guys will, girls and Asmaniacs will vote for me. I'll try my best. I'll be at work. It's a very busy week for me. So hopefully I can get on tomorrow, Jake. I'm going to try my best to get on from work. I've done it before. I think I could do it again tomorrow.
Let's go. We'll squeeze you on whenever you could find time, Lumpy.
I appreciate it, Jake. This community is freaking awesome. Everybody is so good to each other. I just want to say that we're all winners when it comes to the Asmaniac. I just wish the Jets would be winners too, because we'd be like, forget it. I don't know how crazy it would be. Just think about that weekend it would be after the Super Bowl if we ever got there and won. God forbid. Hopefully, I'm still alive then. But hopefully, Muji will be the one that gives us to the promised land, because we know it's not Geno.
Lumpy, you're the best. Good luck. All right.
Thank you.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
The Lump Man delivers. Well said by Lumpy. Well said. Don Maynard sign helmet is the giveaway for those of you who tuned in late. Tonight at 7, second episode of the Jets Collective. End of the show today, or end of the day today, I should say. I'm going to send Gator the updated list of everyone who's joined the Patreon over the last month so we can get your names added to the intro. Thank you to the Doc, Brian Holloway, Australian Jet fan, Bino Santinello, Stephen M. Stoller, MD, Mike D's Nuts, who renewed his membership, and Brandon Batts. All became part of the Patreon community. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. When you join, for the year, you get 10 weekly raffle tickets automatically applied. So keep that in mind. Plus, you save 15%. Ladies and gentlemen, today's closer appears to be a man who's going by a new name. He's going by the name Mr. Pay-Per-View. Interesting. Very interesting. What's up with this
Everybody's
new
got
name?
a price. Used it in high school. It sold like hotcakes. But, like the $1 Million Man once said, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man. Everybody's got a price. He has his price just like each and every one of you has your price. Vote for Queen Amanda tomorrow. Why? We're going to crush Gary and put him in baby shit and squash him like garbage through a straw hole.
Are you familiar with baby
Yesterday's
doo-doo?
No, he's going to be squashed. Like Yokozuna once did to Tatanka and to many others. Bonsai!
I'm just a little grouchy today. I didn't get much sleep. Almost fell off the bed, almost hurt my asshole this morning.
Spencer Green wants to know, EBT check hit today. I believe that's directed at Beast. Ladies and gentlemen, one last call because I'm not in the show on that. And then voting will close. Papa Jet, Adam is too cool. Last chance to get your vote on in this morning's matchup. On the line, the champ.
The only thing better than Alden shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
It's definitely. Jake, my brother.
Bonesy.
What's up, man?
How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to say one thing about Aaron Glenn and all this stuff. I don't understand why we would, in this exact situation we're in, which is he's calling the defensive plays. He got his guys in. The pressure's on him. He already told us he's got superpowers. He's doing exactly what he did last year, and we saw it come to a catastrophic failure, right? And he's doing it again, and he's being himself. He's being authentic. This is who he is. He's a bashful guy. Like, let him die on the ship, man. Let him die on the sword. If he wants to say Geno's taking us to the promised land, I'm sure his promised land is 6-8 on the screen at the end of the year. And if we win 3 straight, maybe we can sneak in. That's probably what he means in his heart. But I don't give a shit what Aaron Glenn says. He already put the pressure on him. He already hired someone who's going to completely take over the offense, so he can't even pretend to dip his hand in there, because when he came over when he came over as our coach, he was the CEO coach. He made it clear he didn't want to run the defense, run the offense. He got Wilkes to do this. He wouldn't dip his hand in with Wilkes at the end of the year because he didn't want to get any blame. So I just feel like I don't know why any of us would give a shit what this man says, because there's only one of two things that are happening. He's either roping us back in somehow from the odds are against him, but if Geno plays well with Frank Reich and the offense looks average and he gets the defense from last in the NFL to 20th and we start actually getting turnovers and we're not like a shit show, we'll probably be all right. You know, Jet fans, to me, I don't feel like we're asking for that much. Like, what are our bars? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Jet fans complained about the Aaron Rodgers year somehow. So maybe I'm wrong, but I just do let the man talk. Let him be himself and let him roll the dice that, God forbid, he hits. You know, all his shit talking is warranted, but I'm not gonna beat him up anymore for anything he says, because I feel like we're at the point where it's like it's either happening or it's not. He's not getting a year 3 and sucking this year. I just can't see it happening. We have to improve for him to have a chance. So that's my.
I get it, but does he really have to take it to the extent he takes it to every time? Like, it's unnecessary.
Himself, though, Jake. I think he's been himself, man. That's just who he is.
And then he's just not going to be a very good coach, because good coaches don't talk that way.
Right. I mean, he's taking a chance. I'm not here telling you it's going to work. I'm here saying, who gives a shit how he wants to do it? He's either gone by the end of the year or maybe a couple weeks
at work. I'd like to see us have a fun season and not be trash.
Me too. And he thinks that his way of getting there is to instill his players to have his mantra.
Have that work with Justin Fields.
Oh, well, dude, look, man, you're speaking to the choir, bro. I was screaming no Justin Fields before we even signed him. And then when we did sign him, I was shocked that people were like, you know, oh, Justin Fields taking us to the playoff. Like, man, that was all ridiculous. And that was all on him. And you know what scares me is that he did say he brought up how he played against Geno Smith. It's like, dude, can you stop telling us that you signed a quarterback because of how well he played against you? You're just making yourself sound like a shithead. But I like the confidence, even if it's fake. It's authentic. That's who he is. He's not being fake. That's who Aaron Glenn is. And the players know that. And look, man, I can't take when people are like, oh my God, I can't believe he came. It's like, yo, man, let him talk his shit. He's burying his own ditch. And if he wants to go out like that, let him, man. There's a small chance that if we improve, that his bashfulness and his confidence will seep into the players in the locker room. God forbid we get a couple wins. God forbid Geno plays like he did in Seattle. God forbid Frank Reich, who's done it before and we've seen it before. It's not like Frank Reich's never had success in the league. No, he's had decent success in the league. I don't care how long it is. Success is success. And if God forbid things work out, I mean, that locker room could be talking like Glenn. We have a whole new locker room. We have all new players. You know what I'm saying? We revamped it. We brought in veterans. We brought in people who have turnovers on the resume. So let him talk his shit. I like it. Let him talk his shit. Because he's either digging his hole deeper and he could be out of here quicker and we can just get this fucking shit restarted, or, I mean, he's going to be back and we're all going to be like, yo, Glenn talk the talk. And we walk
What does
the
Sonny
walk.
think? What does Sonny think of this?
What do you think? What do you think of Aaron Glenn? What do you think of the Jets? Come on, let's hear it, brother.
I don't know.
Come on, no, talk, man. Who's your man? Who do you like? Who's your favorite player?
Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner's not even on the team, man. I know you know that. So I don't. He's still like Sonny is still like, you know what I do to him, which is not good. I get him stuck in the past, like with what I like with Aaron Rodgers. Like he's still wearing. Wait, hold on. Look what he's wearing.
I love it. I mean, you were the Rodgers guy.
Of course, man, because people are ridiculous. People still to this day have the balls to say that oh my God, get rid of Aaron Rodgers. Dude, we haven't sniffed 28 touchdowns and almost 4,000 yards in how long? People are still going to find something to fucking complain about. So,
hey, Bonesy, do me a favor. Send me a text of Sonny's shirt size so we could get him a Garrett Wilson G5 shirt. Ask him if he wants it in white or green.
No, white or green?
Green.
Green? Sonny, I'm going to send you this shirt, all right? And then I'm going to have your dad take a picture of you so you could be our child model on the merch store website.
Yo, look, this motherfucker just got fresh earrings. I didn't really, I had earrings for a long time, but look at this guy, looking fresh.
Wow.
He is G'd up, man. He's ready.
What does Dana think of this?
Dude, Dana did it. Dana was at the mall and did it. I was at work and sent me pictures, and I was like, well, I guess he's getting G'd up real early in his career.
Wow.
But that's how we got to do it.
Well, I'll tell you what. You've sold me. Glenn should say more ridiculous things because it's all going to work.
Look, there's no reason for us to not just let him be himself. That's the only. I like people who are genuine, honest, and I personally think that's who he is. I think he's telling the truth. I just think that's the kind of guy he is. I think that's why players, resonate to him because he's not a good coach. He hasn't showed us anything that resembles a good coach. Maybe he's a good leader of men. Maybe he's a good scout. He is not a good coach. So he has a lot to prove with his superpowers. And I'm not saying that part, but I'm just saying I like that he's authentic. I appreciate that. What?
Bonesy, Sonny, you guys have a tremendous day.
Like I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
Yeah. Good call by the Bonesy family there. Super chat from Brian says, what do you want Glenn to say? We suck, chill out. I just think there's a way to back your quarterback without saying he's going to lead us to the promised land. Why sign Geno? That was the question, right? We signed him because we think he is going to be a good quarterback in this league. He has proven that. Last year was not a good year for him or the team he was on, but we believe that was not an accurate reflection of who he still is as a player. We're excited about what he could do. He's thrown for 4,000 yards twice over the last 4 years. And we think the player we're getting now is going to be someone that we're going to be able to put together a really fun offense for our fan base. That's like just anything, but he can't do it. All right, that's fine. Hey, shout out to Dave Briga. Big day for achievement. 4 astronauts are set to launch on the first crewed moon mission in decades. How do I pronounce the name of the ship? Artemis? How do I say it? Artemis 2? I'm not into space innovation. Someone in the chat might have the answer. Ladies and gentlemen, let's declare a winner in Asmaniac Madness. Great back and forth throughout our show. But the winner and the Asmaniac that is moving on to the Sweet 16 is Papa Jet 73. Papa defeats Adam 54-46 with 425 votes that were cast. Great battle. Congrats to both. But it's Papa Jet and that beautiful beard moving on to the next round. Here's your look at the bracket. It will be Leany and Papa in the Sweet 16. We'll update that. And then as we start to look ahead this afternoon, it's AJF and Mad Max, Lumpy and Big Fella tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, Gary, Amanda, get set. It's going down. Today is also a very special anniversary. It is the 1-year anniversary of the Catfish heard and seen around the globe. If you missed it or you don't remember, let's take you back to the Charles Gorman versus Big Fella Sweet 16 matchup on this day 1 year ago when madness truly unfolded. Thanks for watching. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We'll talk to you in a few hours. Go Jets.
Okay, Jake, this is some real serious shit right now. I'm helping someone out. Do you have Cash App? I'm serious, Jake. I swear to God. I'm not bullshitting you.
Yeah, what do you need the money for, Charles?
She's real. I heard her voice. I swear to God.
What does she need help with?
It's complicated right now. Please, Jake, I really am in deep, dire straits right now.
Why not ask?
A deposit of $1,000, but something turned out with her financial department. She uses Bitcoin wallet.
Of course she does.
I was supposed to help her out with some payments,
Why would you help her out? You don't have a job. Bat fella, what do you think of this situation?
I smell criminality everywhere. I smell it. I need the bat spray.
I'm being serious here.
I'm being serious. Charles, if she's asking you for Bitcoin, that's a scam, bro. Now back to Batman. Charles, you cannot be duped. Do not fall for this.
I met her on Discord.
Have you seen what she looks like?
Well, she's busy right now. She was busy at the time.
Of course. So you've never seen her because you're being scanned. If I'm supposed to believe this is real, she needs it for what?
The financial department.
The financial department of what?
Don't you fall for that scam.
Well, I just lost all my freaking money because of this bitch.
Well, how much did you pay this person?
Too damn much. I heard her voice. It was a woman.
Have you watched this show and seen what Gator has done with people's voices?
It wasn't Gator. It was an actual female voice.
Oh my God. Of course it's not Gator scamming you. $70? Is that why you requested that from me? More than that?
Yes.
How much?
I literally help people that have been victimized from this weekly. This is called a romance scam. What did you use? Did you use like Venmo?
Cash App, Bitcoin address.
Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Nah, you're not getting your money back, dude. I can't help you. You're lucky it's not all your money.
How much money is it?
Over 100.
How much? Give me an exact number and we will probably get it done right now. If you swear to everyone watching the show, you will not be scammed by anyone that is fake trying to get your money again. Block this person immediately. Do not give them any more money. You understand?
Yes. I was an idiot, Jake. My parents warned me about this shit and I failed.
You cannot talk to strangers on the internet, Charles. You understand?
Yes.
Tell me how much money you sent to this fake person immediately. How much total money is this roughly here? Because I can't do the math as I'm on the air right now. This is over $1,000, Charles. Is that why you asked for 1,000 at the beginning? That's so nice of you, big fella. I'll make sure we get this to Charles.
Look, Charles is a special person, and for someone to take advantage of him, I wish I was the real Batman because I go and destroy them.
I posted Charles' Venmo in the chat. Send it to him directly. I mean, it's just brutal. Charles, you got scammed, man. Hopefully you learn from this. That's all you could do.
Like, I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets!